Hey there, everybody. It's me, your man, MG Marcas Grant, and let's talk tight ends. I know it's a hard position to figure. It's frustrating. That's why I'm here to help you out. I got my list of the top 10 fantasy tight ends heading into 2022. We will start it off at number 10 in Pittsburgh with Pat Freiermuth. Now, we all know the adage that rookie tight ends don't do much in fantasy football, but Freiermuth challenged that assumption in 2021. The Muth got loose for 7 touchdowns in his first NFL season and became a big part of the Steelers' offense in the red zone. Even with a change at quarterback this year, Freiermuth figures to see plenty of targets. If he maintains last year's touchdown upside, a top 10 finish is well within his reach. At number 9, it's Mike Gesicki. Now, Gesicki has been the epitome of a just good enough fantasy tight end for the past couple of seasons. While his end-of-year numbers usually look decent, Gesicki's lack of consistency has frequently frustrated fantasy managers. Adding Tyreek Hill to an offense that was already starting to feature Jalen Waddle won't help matters. But Gesicki should again be just good enough to land as a fringe tight end 1. At number 8, it's TJ Hockenson. Hockenson was one of the main targets in the Lions' passing game this past season. Now, that should be taken with many grains of salt when you remember that Detroit had the NFL's 25th ranked offense in 2021. Hockenson has recovered from the hand injury that forced him to miss the final 5 games of the season, but he returns to a passing game that added free agent DJ Chark and rookie Jameson Williams. Hockenson will need to up his touchdown numbers because the target share is certain to drop. At number 7, it's Dallas Goedert. Speaking of target shares, Goedert may struggle to replicate his 16.3% clip from last season. That's because the Eagles acquired A.J. Brown in an offseason trade. Then again, Goedert also won't be sharing snaps with Zach Ertz. Nonetheless, he showed an obvious rapport with quarterback Jalen Hurts last season. That should hold him in good stead for fantasy managers heading into a new campaign. At number 6, it's Zach Ertz. Now, did I mention that Ertz isn't in Philly anymore? When the longtime Eagle was traded to Arizona last season, his numbers took off. This year, Ertz has a chance for a fast start to his campaign. Arizona let Christian Kirk walk in free agency and will endure DeAndre Hopkins suspension for the first 6 weeks. That should mean plenty of targets for the veteran to begin the year. At number 5, it's Darren Waller. Now, this is a bit lower than we're used to seeing Waller in rankings recently. The Raiders star should still see plenty of action, just maybe not as much in past years. Hunter Renfrow established himself as a go-to option for Derek Carr in 2021. More importantly, Devontae Adams reunites with his old college quarterback in Las Vegas. That alone will knock Waller down the pecking order among Raiders pass catchers. At number 4, it's George Kittle. Now, not long ago, Kittle was on track to be the top tight end in the game. Unfortunately, injuries kept him from reaching that plateau. There's also the issue of his excellent skills as a blocker for an offense that enjoys running the ball. While that helps the 49ers, it means fewer routes run and fewer targets for fantasy managers. That said, there will still be plenty of chances for Kittle to eat in the San Francisco offense, but it could still keep him out of the top 3. At number 3, it's Kyle Pitts. Not that long ago, the Falcons offense had Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley. Heading into the 2022 season, all 3 of those players are gone. That leaves Pitts as the headliner in Atlanta's revamped offense. Even with first-round rookie Drake London in the ATL, Pitts should dominate the target share. By the way, if you think Pitts was a bust as a rookie, then he was only a victim of your outsized expectations. At number 2, it's Travis Kelce. For the first time since 2017, Kelce did not finish the season as the top-scoring fantasy tight end. Of course, he was still significantly better than the next best player at his position. Nonetheless, the Chiefs' mainstay is entering his age 33 season and will have to operate without former running mate Tyreek Hill. Kelce is still an elite-level tight end, but he just might not be the best any longer. So, who is the best tight end heading into the 2022 season? Who sits at number 1? The drum roll, the suspense. It is Mark Andrews. Over in Baltimore, Andrews had been living near the top of the fantasy tight end leaderboard for several years thanks to his touchdown upside. In 2021, he leveled up in other areas. Andrews blew away his career highs with 153 targets, 107 catches, and more than 1,300 yards. With Marquise Brown and Sammy Watkins now elsewhere, that could open up even more targets for Andrews this season. If the Ravens tight end finishes atop the fantasy heap again in 2022, the changing of the guard at the position will be officially official. For year-round fantasy takes and plenty of hot fire, be sure to check out the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. Myself and Michael F. Florio have plenty to offer you all year long, so download it at NFL.com/podcast or wherever you get podcasts.